Welcome back once again, everyone. And I have here Mr. Ethan Lake, the Sports Commissioner for ASG, and also the Secretary General for the ASNOC, and also the producer of Pacific Pulse. And we've talked about people's feedback about the show, how this show is about to be a hit. So hopefully, we don't want to jinx anybody. But yeah, we're going to move into the June talk. What's going on in June, Mr. Ethan Lake?
Well, and you know, as we talked in the first segment as well too, you know, we're going through this. We still need your feedback, but June's going to be a big month. I mean, really, and this is probably, I mean, one of the reasons we're launching the Pacific Pulse TV magazine is because of June. Mm-hmm. The ASNOC and myself, as a sports commissioner for D1 and ASG, sort of adopting June as Sports Month.
Wow.
It's never really been, I mean, it's unofficial.
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't have a proclamation, we don't have anything going out there, but really, if you think about it, Sports Month is, for June, makes sense.
It does make sense.
You know, in the past, we had, a few years ago, obviously, you know, Troy Polamalu's been here,
yes.
3 different times, and each time was in June.
Yep.
June Jones, you know, when he had his camp 7 years in a row,
yeah.
It was all in June.
In June.
Sports camps tend to be, a lot of the football camps and others happen to be in June. And part of that is because, you know, school just gets out.
It's the summer.
You know, it's the beginning of the summer. It's, you know, July has been adopted by DIWA as, you know, youth month.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that June's good because not only that, you also have a lot of your athletes who are on scholarships, you know, off island at colleges, at junior colleges, division colleges, whatever you know it is,
mm-hmm.
and they tend to come back right around this time frame,
yes.
Right after they've ended their school
mm-hmm.
year, and so it really makes sense because, you know, trying to push sports for June makes sense in the sense that when they're here, a lot of them want activities, and so it's a perfect time to do camps.
Yes. Not
just football camps, but, you know, hopefully as sports commissioner and as Secretary General for the NOC, the National Olympic Committee, trying to kind of encourage mm-hmm. sports federations and groups and clubs to use this month as a month that, you know, focused on sports and health, and not maybe not just sports, but, you know, maybe sports and health, and kind of open it up and stuff, because, you know, July is youth month.
Yes.
This would be perfect for, you know, sports. And again, this is when a lot of coaches tend to come and visit, but we've never really established it. So, yes. You know, in the past years when I'd talked to other coaches, they, you know, from off island in the U.S., they would talk about, oh, they'd love to come down here and visit. Mm-hmm. They just don't know when.
Exactly.
And if we can unofficially or officially in the future make June sort of the sports month, yeah. It really builds up things like sports tourism.
Exactly.
It helps off-islanders or even athletes or anybody say, hey, this is the best month to be here. Mm-hmm. And not only that, maybe even parents of student athletes, you know, when they're wanting to take vacation, mm-hmm. you know, they don't know, should I take vacation? Should we take the family off-island in June or July or August? You know, and then they choose one, okay. And then all of a sudden there's camps going on at that time.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like, this is, I think, the best month to do it, and I think we all adopt it together and really become something.
I like that idea, you know, that June is a sports month, because, you know, like you mentioned, you know, kids are out of schools. You know, I remember back in the days when I was out of school, either I don't get a job or just hang around with my friends or get in trouble, you know, get in trouble in the summer, you know. So all you young kids out there, you know, June month, you know, it's the sports month, and it's pretty good. And speaking of June, we got the graduation coming up.
Oh, that's a big one, and you know, that's sort of, it allows us to go right into the sports.
Yes.
I mean, usually it's the first week of June is when graduation is. That's what it's been the last few years. So around that time frame, and you figure, okay, this is when they're graduating, and what do they do? If we give them too much space to do nothing, mm-hmm. like you said, like you used to do, you leave yourself open to getting into trouble, or whatever.
Trouble.
But if they know that we're starting to plan things, you know, mm-hmm. in the month of June, if more organizations, more departments, and more federations and agencies,
yes.
and we can all kind of come together. You know, we've done this for a lot of other months.
Yes.
You know, we do it for, you know, like for Mental Health Month, you know, Awareness Month, Cancer Month. So sports goes in there. But as you said, next week, and actually it's next week already. Man, I can't believe it's coming around, and we've got the graduations. And I think, you know, again, we've been talking about sports, so let's just focus a little bit on something else other than sports, which is the graduation of DOE. Most of the schools.
Most of the high schools, you know, I'd like to shout out to Manu'a High School. the home.
Are they graduating this week? I think, or the Friday.
Yeah, I think so.
They're usually first. And, you know, unfortunately, I think this is the sad thing too. Is that, you know, Manu'a sometimes gets forgotten.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they're out there, but you know, there are plans from DIWA and from the ASNLC to try to include them more in our activities, and we need to do this. And again, part of it is getting the word out there, so they know too. When can they travel back to Tutuila to get involved in some of these activities?
Man, hey, shout out to Leone High School on Monday.
The Lions. I'm from the west side, so I'm looking forward to the Lions out there. You know, I have to say too, they've done some really amazing things, even with their gym. I know I keep bringing sports in. I apologize, but that's my job too.
Hey, shout out to Coach Oakland and them.
Yeah, they've done a great job and stuff. And you know, I think they're still just finishing up the JPS programs that are coming up as well too. So
then we got the home of the Mighty Warriors, Tafuna High School. Man, shout out to you guys for your graduations. And then heading over to Samoa High School, the Sharks. Whanaitua High School, home of the Mighty Vikings. Mahalo to all the seniors.
What days are these guys? So Monday is Leone.
And then we have 5th. And then we have Tafuna on the 6th.
Do we know the times yet? Or we probably need to work on the times because
usually, well, right now with the 1 hour thing, I really love that 1 hour.
Oh, the 1 hour really makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference.
I'm sorry, they were getting out of hand. I think you had graduation that was going like 3-4 hours. I mean, but they need to be short and sweet. You know, they need to be about the graduates and not about all the guest speakers. You know, yeah, you only need one guest speaker. But the one thing that I would say with the graduations is they cannot cut out the valedictorian and the salutatorian speeches. Those students, whoever those two may be, in some cases it's you know, it's shared with others. I feel they always need to have those in the part of the graduation because they earned that 4 years and to be considered the top academic student in the school. That's the one thing I would say out there is never cut that part of the program for them to be able to give their speech. You know, and then you have your main guest speaker, but you don't need to have all the teachers speaking and all the different department speakings and things like that. I mean, there's other activities I would recommend, even, you know, having like awards, banquets, and everything else at a different time. Don't put it part of graduation. That's just my feeling. I mean, they got to be short and sweet, and then, you know, celebrate and have a great time. But again, I have to say to all the students and the graduates, be very safe. You know, this is even if you're safe, others may not be, and even driving and stuff. You've got to be very cautious. You got to be very, as they say, you know, tactical when you're driving out there and stuff too, because they say defensive driving. You know, imagine someone is coming after or might hit you and stuff too. So we don't need any sad news during this graduation.
Hey, with that said and done, and not just the graduates, we'd like to special thanks to the teachers, the hardworking teachers out there, the principals, and especially to DOE director, deputy directors, mahalo. A big mahalo to you guys for doing a tremendous job for the kids. Fa'aftai te lava.